A very good morning from Zimbabwe and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. And this morning, let us take a look on what is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe. Mnangagwa has announced a move which is being taken by the government, state media, as well as some independent media platforms, so big media gurus, which are trying to make sure that they silence social media users. So remember that traditional media in the nation of Zimbabwe failed to sync very quickly with social media, and they left a very, very big gap. And that gap was then utilized by social media users, and they came in, or they chipped in to fill that vacant. Wherever there is a vacant, just expect somebody to fill up that vacant. This is what happened in the media industry pertaining social media, and they've made a move to make sure that they stop social media users. So Mnangagwa has quoted what ZBC said and said the continuous unauthorized, is it ZBC? Is quoted what the media houses are saying, and it says the continuous unauthorized republication or distribution of our content and publications on WhatsApp groups, websites, or any other social media sites should stop forthwith. Suffice to state, we shall also be targeting the WhatsApp group administrators in their personal capacities for allowing circulation of our content in their groups. Should they choose to ignore or disregard this notice, Zim Papers, ANZ, AMH, then they will have to take legal action against such people. So I think, for the sake of context, let us try to actually go to the report from from the Zimbabwe media houses, so that we get an appreciation of what is really happening and what is really going on. So let me bring it back right here onto the screen so that you'll be able to actually share and see. It was reported by Herald, and I hope and believe that we are going to be able to place it right here. So it reads, the country's largest integrated media group, Zimbabwe Newspapers, Zim Papers, and the three other media houses have warned the digital and social media platforms against copyright infringement. This follows an upsurge in unregistered websites, digital and social media platforms unlawfully taking, distributing, and circulating media houses' content without permission. Such violation constitutes a significant legal infringement, and the rightful owners of the content are entitled to a reasonable royalty of $2,000 per month for the unauthorized use. In a joint statement, Zim Papers, the Associated Newspapers of Zimbabwe, Zim and Publishers, and Zimbabwe and Business Times warned content aggregators to desist from any future unauthorized republication, distribution, circulation, and sharing of content. Let us take a look onto this and understand what zviri kumbofamba sei. And I'm going to give my own commentary, my own views regarding this move. So what is of significance is to note that, yes, it's good to protect the media houses from copyright infringers, but it's also good to note that there is a vacuum left by these big media houses. Is because they don't want to adjust, they don't want to move together with time. There is a lot of bureaucracy happening in these organizations. If you go to Herald, they are not active on social media the way they're supposed to be active. If you go to other countries and compare what is happening at the newspapers in other countries and what is happening at the newspapers in Zimbabwe, is different. In Zimbabwe, they are not performing, or they're hiring incompetent leaders and give them managerial posts. Then, secondly, if you take a look on ZBC, if you take a look on Alpha and Chichi, Znana News Day, they are not up to the task of making sure that they inspire confidence, especially on social media. So they lack clarity in terms of what to really do. They don't have strategic people on the forefront to manage their affairs on social media. So they are now trying to silence the users of social media by trying to instill fear into them. Somebody would think 2,000 US dollars, Vakupi, and it's something. So instead of them being reasonable, for example, they would have said, okay, if you want to use our content, you can apply for you to use our content, and then you pay a reasonable amount. For say, you can talk about $100 a month. It's reasonable because the person who will be doing that is will be able to pay you and also be able to benefit as well in terms of monetary terms. So in Zimbabwe, then you have to face huge internet bills. You have to face difficulties in terms of electricity, which means you need an alternative. Thirdly, you also have to face mari wombe $2,000 per month unoiwana kupi when you are operating my social media sites arokupa around $500 then you remove the expenses unosara uchikwanisa kungobhadhara rent and nothing else. So I believe that this is irrational, and I don't believe that they're going to so because remember, social media is not governed in Zimbabwe and cannot be governed in Zimbabwe. There are international laws which must be complied with so that when they try by all means possible to fight content creators, they will have to make sure that they oblige to the international laws. And do they have that right to come and say, you have to stop what you're doing? Yes, because they're in power, because they abuse the judiciary, because they've captured the judiciary, they can enforce whatever they want, but they cannot stop social media users because other users will not be in their jurisdiction. You can stop those in Zimbabwe, but you can not stop people operating from other countries from doing whatever they want because it's their freedom. That is the reason why we have freedom of press. Some other people are not distributors of news. They are people who are coming to take a look on what is happening, then give their own views. It's allowed to give a commentary to what is in the news. It's allowed. It's not copyright infringement. I have a right as a citizen to comment on the news, or to comment on what is happening in any nation. So this is a bad move which is being taken by the government. Yes, they will try to silence social media users, but will they win this war? They will not, because they are fighting wars which have been overtaken by time, which have been overtaken by events. And with the coming of AI, with the coming of digitalization across the world, it's going to be very difficult for them. But this is what they're doing. And we just made a decision to come and give a notice to fellow viewers, followers, and friends in this industry. So you realize kuti zvauri kuwana from social media and what they are demanding, there is craziness there. They're actually crazy. You cannot demand 2,000 US dollars per month from somebody who is not even getting quarter of that money. So, if the fees were reasonable, people could come. But should people stop sharing news on WhatsApp? That is very important because vanhu havana data rekuvhura mawebsites. Izvezvi, I can tell you this. People do not have data to go on Herald website to watch news. This is a website yandakavhura panapa in this report. Vanhu havasi kuafforda kuenda onto this platform here, Herald, so that they can view the news, they can read the news. But people want to know what is happening. So what happens is that social media content creators then chip in. They come, they take that piece you are failing to bring to the people, and they bring it to the people. The people will be able to read, the people will be able to watch. So the people who are actually paying my social media groups, or they're not benefiting from this content yavari kutora from Herald vachita sei. They're actually benefiting from advertisements. So they've just created platforms where people will come to watch Herald, where people will come to watch Newsday, where people will come to watch all these newspapers. But they're not benefiting anything from that. They're benefiting from their own advertisements because they've built my audiences. They can now advertise. So I don't know. I don't know what is wrong with these media houses. I don't know what is wrong with these people. They are actually failing to understand what is really happening. And if we were operating in a free country where there is justice, they were not going to win any part of all this hullabaloo because they are not doing service for the people. Where are Herald groups? We've never seen WhatsApp groups for Herald. We've never seen channels vakatotangirwa kugadzira channels. Now they are following Nelson Chamisa because they created the news channel. They are actually following Nelson Chamisa right now. Where were they all along? So all those issues are very important to note. And, it's allowed also to rewrite whatever you want because it's something which is in the public domain, which means you can write your own stories. After writing your own stories, you can publish them. Nobody can stop you from publishing your own stories, which means they will not win this fight. People will simply grow. They will simply write their own articles in their own way, in their own words, and they will take ownership of everything and they will still post, which means this is, in my own view, this will not help anything and this is not going to serve the purpose. But this is the update. Let us have your views. Let us talk in the comment section. What do you really think about this move? Was this necessary or is just greediness? Let us explore.